Nowadays, meeting customer requirements and satisfying the customer as per his preferences and needs is really a challenging and demanding one. So business community has two major challenges. One is the challenge that he has to compete within the competition, and second that he has to produce all the products and services meeting to the requirements of the customers in a very satisfying manner. If you're not able to perform these two functions, your firm will be collapsed. So it will be very difficult to sustain in the market. So considering the strategic management competitive advantage concepts and cases, today I will share with you some very important topics which can be helpful for the business community, business firms to apply and implement it in the business the business community. Strategy is the beginning of any business. What is strategy? A plan of action which is designed to gain a long-term competitive advantage. No doubt, a strategy has a great importance in a firm which provides a strategic direction to the management. A strategy could be in a variety of areas like financial strategies, organization development strategies, human resources management strategies, marketing and sales strategies, so on and so forth, to achieve the real success of the business. In my view, a firm must focus on selecting and choosing the best strategy that lead to a competitive advantage consistently. Every firm is doing a business to gain a competitive advantage. In the new business era, a firm has a variety of challenges to gain a competitive advantage nationally as well as internationally due to the stiff competition and due to the cost leadership as well as the product differentiation strategy in the market. The more economic value, the more competitive advantage, and the less economic value, the competitive disadvantage. To simplify the concept of competitive advantage, let's assume there are two firms, firm X and firm Y. Each firm sells the same products to the same customer in the market. Firm X sells its products to the customer each time and generates economic value of let's say US dollar 500, wherein firm Y sells its product the same customer and makes economic value of US dollar 400. If we see firm X has more economic value compared to the firm Y, therefore competitive advantage will be equal to US dollar 100. So it means from both the firms, the firm which is getting the higher economic value have a great competitive advantages in the market. In the strategic management, the strategic management process has a great importance and is very vital. Choosing a strategy is not enough, but choosing a good and effective strategy, ensuring firms' business success, sustainability, and ensuring gain competitive advantages. A diversified firm can ensure competitive advantages to follow the strategic management process through setting mission statement which can promote its real value. Objectives are quantifiable values wherein firms uses to assess whether they are achieving their mission successfully or not. Of course, internal and external analysis are also vital in the strategic management process. In external analysis, a firm identifies its environmental opportunities and threats as well as the firm's weaknesses and strengths. No doubt, if a firm has a great internal and external analysis, then the firm will be in a position to make strategic choices and can implement the strategy at business and corporate level. The main objective of the strategic management process to hunt the competitive advantages on the long term and the permanent basis. Evaluating a firm's external environment is also very vital and important for strategic management. A firm can sustain business and its profitability through the best methods of evaluating external environment. In the business competition, a firm has environment 5 threats that impact the business profitability. If a firm does not study well these forces, then the firm cannot sustain its business longer. The 5 threats are buyer power, supplier power, threats of a new entry, threats of substitutes, and competitor rivalry. Then it will be difficult for a firm to sustain its business if the firm is not addressing all the 5 threats in a very strategic manner. But if a firm can examine all the 5 threats carefully and make strategy to overcome these forces, then firm will be able to maintain its strength and profitability within a market on a consistent basis. Previously, we examined the evaluation of firms' external environment. So evaluating the firm's internal capability is also very important, like the evaluation from the external environment. Let's see what is the case scenario in the evaluating a firm's internal capabilities. Firm's internal capabilities play a vital role in gaining a competitive advantages. Basically, the RBV, resource-based value, in an economic theory and suggests that firms' resources and capabilities are controlled by firm. Tangible and intangible assets are included as the resources of firm, wherein capabilities are subset of available resources that empower a firm to get benefits of its other resources. Financial, human resources, and organizational resources are considered as resources and capabilities of a firm. Due to the significance of RBV, resource-based view, a firm can analyze its strengths and weaknesses, and it is called VRIO framework. Let's evaluate the significance of VRIO framework in more details on the next slide of the presentation. VRIO analysis, it is an internal assessment tool to analyze internal resources and capabilities of a firm to gain competitive advantages. Basically, VRIO, a strategic analysis that helps and support to uncover the resources and capabilities that can give a firm sustainable competitive advantages. So it is obvious that success to invest in such resources can create a competitive advantages for a firm, and failure to invest in such resources can lead a competitive disadvantages for a firm. In order to have a sustainable competitive advantages, a firm resources must be valuable, rare, inimitable, and organized. If a firm's resources do not meet VRIO framework, will have no sustainable competitive advantages and shall move to other resources of a firm, highlighting the comprehensive VRIO framework to gain sustainable competitive advantages. Therefore, it is essential that proper VRIO framework implementation ensure substantial cash flow within the business. Cost leadership strategies is one of the business level strategies along with the product differentiations. Cost leadership is the part of business level strategy to gain a competitive advantages in a single industry or market wherein producing the same products can have different cost due to the size differences and economies of scale. Size changes and diseconomies of scale. Process design, effective utilization of technological advantages, and use of producing lower input cost as well. The main and big challenges of the firm to reduce the unitary cost by increasing or producing more units, especially to cover the fixed cost, as fixed cost per unit increases with producing of less units and decreases by producing more units. It means you can say that the element of covering the fixed cost is very important in the cost leadership strategies. If the firm is not comprehensively decreasing the fixed cost per unit, so we cannot say that they are acting the cost leadership strategies within a firm. Therefore, the firm will be more strategic in terms of cost leadership if cover per unit cost, fixed cost comprehensively and efficiently. Apart from that, effective utilization of economies of scope, improvement in the process of design through the utilization of software and other technologies, measures, the parameters, the methods can have much competitive advantage over a firm's rival and can lead a firm cost leadership. Also, material and labor costs from developing countries can have important part in reducing the cost of unit as well. Finally, effective and comprehensive compensation and benefits remuneration policies in firms usually reward cost reduction and provide incentives, motivation schemes, plans for everyone also become the part of cost reduction efforts. Vertical integration strategy also being applied in all over the world in most of the international companies, and it's very effective. Basically, vertical integration is the expanding operations scope either backward through the element of supply chain or forward through the supply chain. It is defined as the number of phases in an industry's value chain that a firm has created within its confines. It has two directions: backward vertical integration, which brings a firm closer to the sources or suppliers of its raw materials, wherein a forward vertical integration which brings a firm to its final customers of its products. Vertical integration can also create a value in different three ways. First, vertical integration can reduce the opportunistic threats from the supplier and buyers. Secondly, vertical integration can make firm to exploit its valuable, rare and costly to imitate available resources together with the capabilities. Third, it generates a value under circumstances of low uncertainty. No doubt, vertical integration has also a certain benefits and drawbacks. What are the benefits? I just need to highlight also. Benefits of integration: protects the quality of products or services, tempering the integration, improve the scheduling of transfer, products or services, emerging and enhancing the specialized assets of a firm to generate more revenues and increase the profitability of the firm. Surely, the vertical integration has also a drawbacks also. What are the drawbacks? Increase a capital investment of the firm. Business needs new skills, resources and capabilities. stands capacities, matching problems, slow to embrace the technological advancement and the innovation as well. Having the corporate diversification is the need of business in the global market nowadays. Firms apply corporate diversification strategies that extend from limited diversification to related diversification and to unrelated diversification. A corporate diversification strategy is important and critical to firms that must reduce cost or increase revenues and profitability of a firm by developing the economies of scope that outside equity holders cannot get on their own at a very low cost perspective. The power of corporate strategy, the power of corporate diversification strategy is to establish sustained competitive advantages which not only depends on the value of their strategy but also on its rarity and imitability within a firm. In the business market, joint ventures, mergers, acquisition are taking place not in a small company, even though it is taking place in a multinational and national companies globally. What is joint venture? Basically, JV or joint venture, a business agreement which is formed between two or more parties agree to develop, improve or complete a short or long-term project for a definite period. It could be a 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, depending upon the signing of the agreement, where both the firms contributing equal or with agreed ratio of capital investment to complete the project, in a specific period of time. In the competitive market, mergers and acquisition also has a great influence and consider a vital strategy to gain financial and business motivation. The two things very important, whenever you're going for a merger or acquisition. So both the firms take into consideration two motivation. One, it is called financial motivation, and the second, it is called business motivation. Financial motivation, you can say it is why it is taken into consideration to prevent the bankruptcy costs, to secure access to underutilized tax shields, and to increase the leverages opportunities in the market, and to obtain other tax benefits, and to strengthen the product markets, and to remove the inefficient target management staff also. So these include the financial motivation. Now come to the business motivation. Also, when the firms they go for the merger and acquisition, they also take into consideration some business consideration. So there are some factors which business perspective, it is a business motivation to bring the merger acquisition process within the two firms, even it is a smaller or it is a big companies. What are the business motivation? It includes to ensure the survival of the business operation. This is the consideration, this is the motivation of the business, and free cash flow in business also, agency problem solutions and managerial hubris, the potential for above normal profits of business, etc. Both the merger and acquisition take place through the competitive equality or parity for both targets and bidder firms in the market. So there are also certain different dimension of acquisition: friendly, unfriendly, and hostile takeover also. In friendly acquisition process, the management of a target firm is willing to be acquired, whereas in the unfriendly acquisition, the target firm management is not willing to be acquired. While in the hostile takeovers, merger and acquisition take place through direct negotiations between an acquisition firms and mergers of a target firm. So we can say this joint venture, mergers and acquisition taking place all over the world globally, due to the financial and business motivation as well as the benefits for both the firms, the firm, the target firm as well as the firm which is going to be acquired, and the acquired firm also. Everyone works in the business community for some consideration, or maybe you can say some kind of interest. Owners and stakeholders have their own interest to be engaged in the business. Owners have financial interest in the company by investing money to buy its share in the form of equity, while stakeholders who are present internally as well as externally, who vested time, capabilities, skills and interest in the best interest of the business of the company. Stakeholders are involved in making legal decisions for the best interest of the shareholders. What could be the decisions? It could be a strategy formulation, strategy implementation, check and balances of the past, present and future plans of the related projects, compliance to the legal formalities and ensuring the best interest of the shareholders in a business all the way, all the time. Shareholders has also a financial interest in a business entity, or is a partial owner of the organization as per the shares. The shareholders are not limited to get profits from the business, but have some other key roles and responsibilities which are not limited to hiring, rehiring, removing companies, directors from the company upon finishing of the period of the contract, the determination of the salaries, the benefits of the directors, making an important decisions in changing or amending the constitution of the company, checking and approving the financial statements of a company, giving approvals of a new business plan and future projects as well. We can say this the role of the owners and the stakeholders basically to gain the competitive advantage within the company. In the end, I would say all companies or all firms in the market, they work to get the to gain the competitive advantage in the market. A firm's cost leadership, vertical integration strategies, corporate diversification strategies, joint venture, merger and acquisition cannot be strong enough if they don't follow the VRIO framework. And VRIO framework ensure the high sustainability of the business, and if the firms they are generating the cash, it means they are utilizing the VRIO framework in their business with a high quality and with a high concept also. Thank you very much. Thank you.